quietly and in a dignified and majestic fashion. As the jets turn away from us, that deep rumble fades away. But of course we shall have much more sound when she turns onto the runway. So, just a few minutes from now then, the world's only flying Avro Vulcan will take off for her final flight. This extraordinary aeroplane, the giant delta-winged Cold War bomber, has captured hearts and imaginations since the prototype Avro 698 first took to the air in 1952, 63 years ago. And when she touches down, after a few more precious minutes, a remarkable chapter in British aviation history will close. She was returned to the skies in 2007 after what's probably the most ambitious engineering heritage restoration ever. And when she took off on her second maiden flight 8 years and 10 days ago, it was against a positive deluge of people saying it couldn't be done. Well, since then, our gorgeous Vulcan has flown for 346 flights, 346 hours, on 228 flights. And not only was the engineering that achieved that momentous event amazing, but none of it could have been done without some absolutely extraordinary fundraising. She's cost more than £23 million since then, and what was partly contributed to by the Heritage Lottery Fund. I'm just listening to a radio call discussing what she's going to do. She's going down the runway and she's going to Okay, I stopped there because I'm listening to what they're saying. She's now been cleared to climb after takeoff to 5,000 feet and then descend back down towards the airfield. She's going to take off on runway 02. As you can see, she's taxiing down to our right now, and she'll turn around at the end of the runway and take off from right to left. So, back to this extraordinary fundraising, £23 million. Heritage Lottery Fund gave some of it, but most of it came from people like you. So a huge, an enormous thank you for all that you've done. Somebody who I know would want to thank you very much is Dr. Robert Fleming, the Chief Executive of the Vulcan to the Sky Trust, the trust that runs our Vulcan. In a very sad twist of fate, he can't be at Doncaster today, despite having devoted nearly 20 years to ensuring there's been a Vulcan in our skies. He could no longer put off a vital heart operation. He was admitted for surgery today. Chairman of the Trustees, John Sharman, has paid tribute to Robert's extraordinary energy and vision. He says, on behalf of everyone who's enjoyed seeing XH558 fly, I wish Robert the very best of luck. And I thank him and his team and everybody who's generously supported the project for giving us 8 years with this beautiful, powerful, agile flying machine. Rob, I'm sorry you're not here today. We are thinking of you. And finally, before she turns round at the end of the runway, I should say, perhaps one more time, that we're really sorry at the Trust that we haven't been able to invite lots of people to see this momentous occasion, this final flight. And it's a shame that we've had to be so secretive about the whole thing. But as I was saying just now, as I'm sure most people know, we can't run the risk of overrunning this working civil airport at Doncaster, Sheffield. And we thank you for not coming here today. But I do hope that you're able to get the next best thing out of this live streaming, which comes to you courtesy of Plains TV. Well, Vulcan has been asked to say when she's ready for departure, which I think will be quite soon. I'm looking across to the far side of the airfield. I can see there are quite a few spectators around there, but perhaps, let's hope, not too many. But looking up to the sky, that's an awful lot better weather than we expected earlier in the day. That great clump of rain went trolloping through not many hours ago, and it didn't look as if we'd be able to fly at all today. And it wasn't exactly as forecast either. I was watching the weather radar, and this great lump of rain that was over London came galloping up the A1 and passed over us, dumped quite a lot on us, and then Vulcan is just getting her departure instructions, which will clear her to climb out from takeoff and then to come back down towards the airfield. Crew today: Bill Ramsey, Martin Withers, and 2 air electronics officers, Phil Davis and Jonathan Lazari. Those 4 have the honour of conducting the last ever Vulcan flight. And indeed, the last flight of a 4-engined, all-British jet aircraft. There will be no more after today. You may be able to see intense media interest in this. We've had to swear the media to secrecy because we dare not let out the fact that she was going to fly today, because we knew we'd be inundated. So that's why everything has been so secret right up till the last moment. And we even went through a special starting procedure, which I've not seen before. The crew climbed into the aeroplane inside the hangar, and they did their pre-starting checks, and then she was towed out. And this is a much quicker way of doing it than she has been used to doing, where she's normally towed out and then the crew get on board, and it all takes a lot longer. So the plan was not to take too long about it, so that not too many people would try and come here. But the sun is even starting to peek through now, which is quite extraordinary. So Vulcan has been cleared for her takeoff, her last ever takeoff. And perhaps it's worth thinking about. I was looking at her in the hangar today and looking at the extraordinarily beautiful shape of the wings when they're seen edge on. And I thought, when we didn't know whether she was going to fly or not, I wonder if those graceful, beautiful wings will actually lift her off the ground for time. Vulcan is cleared for takeoff on runway 02. So, listen for the sound. I can't see her from here. I expect you can. But we shall see her fairly soon. She's away down to our right, and she'll be taking off out of sun, but with the sun behind her, which is rather nice. It's been a long day's waiting, and a lot of people have been very patient. So Vulcan is rolling. XH558 is on the move. Savour this extraordinary moment. You'll be glad to hear perhaps that I don't intend to say anything much while she's flying. We'll just enjoy the sight and the sound together. So Vulcan has just been cleared to do a run-in and brake. That means running down the runway and braking hard left into what they call the downwind position, which is the opposite direction to the runway but parallel to it. She's out to our left at the moment and she's going to run in down runway 20. She slips in and out of the clouds as if she's leaving us. And she makes her own clouds in the moisture. You see the big clouds on the top of the wing surfaces. Vulcan's wheels are down. She's been cleared to report on final approach. The crew are doing her pre-landing checks. She is the most popular aeroplane in the country, and millions of people have taken her to their hearts. The braking parachute streams. Vulcan's 18 wheels are back on terra firma. So our wonderful, big, beautiful, majestic old lady, rock star, goddess of the skies, is finally grounded forever. And perhaps you know what I'm going to say next. I've said it before, but I do want to quote the wonderful children's author, Dr. Seuss, who said, "Don't cry because it's over. Smile because it happened." If you can't manage that, and I suspect one or two people can't, at least a little smile through the tears.